Hello and welcome to the Mal and Johnny Show. This week we're going to talk markets. Now then, Johnny, what's happened is my daughter's come back from living in that London, and she wants to get into proper Swansea culture, and she follows Swansea Market on Instagram. You know Instagram is, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's seen all these great pictures, and she's going, "Wow, we should go there." So she started going with a little boy and her mother, and I've started going now as well, and it's fantastic.
Oh, markets are wonderful places, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, I always remember as a kid when I lived in my state, we had a market there. And we used to have an open market on a Friday. So apart from all the people selling fruit and veg and stuff, we'd have all the white boys coming from London selling their plates and their cups and saucers.
Del Boy and his mates.
Yeah, like Del Boys. And there was one guy called Mr. Frenchy, we called him, and he'd be doing the bit, I got a teapot here and there's a whole set of 6 cups and 6 saucers, and don't give me £15, don't give me 10, don't give me 12. I tell you what I'll do, I'll throw in another plate, and you can have it for £8. And then some plant would come up and buy it, and then everybody rush. They're not only worth £8 in the first place.
It's probably only worth £7 in the first place.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And so, but not undercover. It was an open market, like on the main street.
There's an undercover market, but every Friday there'd be market day when all these people would turn up selling their wares.
Yeah.
Reams of cloth and, crockery. There was one bloke, an old gypsy called Petrolengo Boswell. He used to sell some junk, some ointment would cure everything. Do you know what I mean?
Snake oil.
Snake oil, yeah.
But there's always been a part of our towns and villages, market and market day. The farmers always come on market day, don't they? Bring the bits of milk. But Swansea Market, now I did a bit of research, because like most towns, it had a market around the old castle in the old days, and then it moved slightly, and then in the 1800s they built the first sort of walled market, which was open in most days in that case. And then it was a little while later when they put a roof on it, and because Swansea is a funny place, Johnny. I can say that because I live here. It's a real mixture.
Because you live there.
Yeah, because I live here. Anybody else says it, they're in trouble. But it's a funny place where a town and country really do meet.
Yeah, you've got a lot of Welsh speakers around the area as well.
Exactly, and then there's so the farmers used to, had their stalls there, or the cockles and the fishermen and all that used to have their stalls. Then there'd be all the townsfolk who were working in the steelworks, and they'd come down there, and there'd be a real mishmash of language. That's why I always think Dylan Thomas didn't make it up; he just wrote it down. The way we always say about
changed the names, but it was the same people.
Yeah, they just talk. They talk musically. And whether you speak in English or Welsh, you can still understand. And there's lots of those mixtures in Wenglish where it becomes a bit of both. But it's still actually took a bit of a beating then, as most cities did in Wales during the Blitz. So the roof was blown off it, and
I think Swansea and Cardiff had a hell of a bashing during the war.
They had a bash, didn't they? And then, even with the roof off, they still had a market there, because that's what people did. So they cleared up the rubbish, and now it's one of the biggest things, the biggest indoor market in Wales. It's got a massive roof on top.
See, Cardiff's got one, but see the Cardiff market. I don't know if I got it right here. I believe it was the jail years ago.
Right. Oh.
Because and if you go in here upstairs, they've got all like little cells, which are now shops.
Yeah.
They look like cells. So I think it may have been an early jail in Cardiff. But I'm not 100% sure on that. But I did hear that was the case.
Yeah. Okay. So do you go to them? Do you go to the market? Would you still go these days?
Yeah, I always go to the market. I mean, Cardiff market to me it spells Christmas, because they have that wonderful smell of Christmas. They have the trees there, and they have all the guys selling the food. Of course, the butchers are in there, the bakers people are in there, and then all the trinkets and all that going on, the card. I mean, and upstairs, years ago, they used to have all the pets in boxes,
Right.
You could buy a cat or a rabbit or a mouse. And I always remember there was a cafe up there, but it was usually frequented by, down and outs and people, see? So I'm walking through this gay friend of mine who had a hell of a great sense of humour. His name was Barry Jacobs. He used to call himself Naughty Bar. See? And he looks at this little lady drinking out of a cracked cup with his... And he went, how sophisticated, like the Champs-Elysees. Anything less like the Champs-Elysees you've ever seen. But you know what? The markets abroad. Have you been to the Spanish markets, like Barcelona and Malaga markets?
Malaga, yeah, been there. Go on. I mean, you've just come back, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, but they've got everything. They've got tapas bars and all. But the way they lay everything out, the fish is all in the line like soldiers. and all the veg. It's wonderful the way they put things together,
Yeah, and I've been to markets in France, obviously, the French markets, the sort of the day markets, and then Milan and Florence. So we're not unusual in being as European because everybody used to do it. The funny thing is that when you go on holiday, you feel you have to go to it. Now, then the fact that I've had Swansea Market there all my life, I've sort of taken it a bit for granted, if I'm honest. My mum and my grandmother used to go to town together every Saturday. So we'd be playing football or playing out in the park, and my dad would be in the garden, and my mum and grandmother would catch a bus down to Swansea High Street, and they'd walk through town, and they'd end up in the market. Yeah. And they'd wander around, and I'm not sure how much they'd buy, but they'd just see everybody.
It's a meeting place, isn't it? That's right.
No, we never guess who I saw today, and Mrs. This and that. And because of that, in some ways, it's got. And if you look online, sort of like recordings of Swansea Market are little old ladies with twin set and pearls and a hat and little pointy glasses,
But selling stuff like lava bread.
Yes, exactly.
And cockles.
Exactly. Well, I think because my daughter's been all around the world, she had a gap year. She went everywhere, and then she lived in Milan. That's why I know about the Milan markets and things. She wanted to find her own culture, so she started going, and she'd go there, a quick cup of coffee, almost standing up and have a little cup of coffee like they do in Milan, at Storm in a teacup, and then just wander around, and then you'd have a fry up. Like a proper fry-up because...
Oh, right, yeah.
Sophisticated breakfast. I mean, I like a croissant. Don't get me wrong. I have a croissant most mornings, Johnny. I'm not ashamed to admit I have a croissant.
Why not?
But what I
do... Or
as
the Americans say, croissant.
Croissant. And sometimes I have, unsalted butter because it tastes more like France. But there's nothing like, sausage, egg, bacon, yeah,
lava bread,
bit of lava bread if you want a Welsh breakfast, a couple of cockles, fried bread. They have put brownies in now, which I think is a little bit sort of fangled, newfangled.
That's adulterated.
But it's not. There's not. You just don't go to the cafe in the market. You go to which one today. So we're going to we're exploring all the different cafes and marking their breakfasts.
Why not? Yeah. I'll have to try that in Cardiff. I don't think they do breakfast. Oh, yes, they do.
They must do.
There's a place that does. There's a place that does wonderful Welsh cakes as well, cooking them while you're looking at them and stuff. Yeah. I mean, they're fascinating places. Markets, they really are. Yeah. Do you know what? This bloke I know is a Jewish guy called Derek Kayat. Right. Kiat. I'm not sure exactly how he says his second name, but he's a bit of a Del boy, and I used to go to watch him because he was a performer.
Right.
He was selling ties one day. I walked past it. Hello, Johnny. Got a couple of nice Peckham rice for your Gregory Peck. A couple of ties for your neck. A couple of nice Peckhams for your Gregory. He's the right character, and you could watch him all day. He was like he had a crowd around him, like he was doing a show.
But that's the thing; it's like show business. That's what I love about the market, because, and I'm not criticising out the town malls or the department stores because they all have a place in life. Although they come and go, don't they? I think the market has had to struggle against those type of things, but it's still there. Whilst some of the other department stores have closed down.
It'll always be there because it's a special thing, isn't it?
Special, and the people know what they're selling. They know if you ask them, I need something, I need a fish for this type of thing. They go, well, this is the type of fish you need. This was caught just off the coast. We had it yesterday.
Yeah. Came up from Carmarthen.
Yeah, if you want a burger, they knew the cow. Because
it's a Carmarthen market as well, isn't it?
That's lovely, Carmarthen market again. I think that's a new sort of undercover sort of place, which is great atmosphere.
See, in Cardiff years ago, on the Hayes, where it's all like it's all St David's 2 and St David's 1 now. That was an open-air market, but they only sold like vegetables and things like that. So my granny, who lived not far away, always went up to the Hayes to buy the vegetables. A, they were cheaper, and B, they were good quality.
Yeah. Well, they probably grew them. They knew the farmer that grew them. Other things. So they've got a lovely, nice couple of cafes, but they've got a nice coffee shop. Stormley Keep. Right. Very nice. That's nice. I like that. It's got Rocky Road and stuff like so that's quite sophisticated. Then it's got Tokyo Joe's, so you can have sushi. It's got Thai food. It's got falafels. Wow. What else has it got there? There's a relatively new one now. It's an antique store, right? So you walk in past, you go, there's a British sort of army uniform from Rorke's Drift, you know. But it was good. There's that. They've got helmets, they've got army stuff, and obviously cards and paper. I saw they had high vis jackets for babies, you know, like granny's worker or something. Like, you know, it's got everything.
Yeah, we're gonna have to meet for breakfast one day in that place and do the podcast from there.
Oh yeah, but they'd love. I think they'd love it. In fact, I wrote my blog about it for the Evening Post this last weekend. I had a lovely message from the manager today. He said thanks to your blog, and I said, oh, it's fine. I'm loving it. You know, I've been the last 2 weeks running. He said, you must come and do a concert in the garden
in the hall.
Yeah. So I said, well, yeah, why not? Why not indeed? So maybe a bit of tap dancing, Johnny. We could.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We could get a gig. Why not? We'll get a gig there. All right.
¿Por qué no, as they say in Spain? ¿Por qué no?
¿Por qué no? What do you mean that? Why not?
It means why not?
But ¿por qué no? I think I'm going to start using that because I am very European.
I know that.
Yeah, right. So, all right, Swansea Market. I'll come and meet you in. We should do markets of Wales. We should do a whole series.
That'd be a good program, wouldn't it?
It would, wouldn't it?
Why don't we do that? Hey, we'll put it to the BBC or somebody and say, look, we're going to, go around the markets of Wales, sing the song.
Yeah. It's a
It'd be a good idea.
It's a winner. We shouldn't have put it in the podcast. Somebody's going to nick that idea.
Somebody nick it.
Rob Brydon will be doing it with Keris Matthews now. Somebody will nick the idea.
He can't play the guitar and he can't tap dance. So
no, exactly. We're all right. we got this one nailed. Oh, good stuff. All right. So I'll be there next week as well. So I'm not sure which one to do the breakfast. Hey, they do. There's one stall there. You can have a Sunday roast in a bap.
A bit of beef in it and a potato and a sprout.
No, good stuff. All right. There we are. Johnny Tudor representing Cardiff Market. Malpo representing Swansea Market. Markets are...
Another markets are available.
Another market.
Do you know what I thought? So another nice chat we might have. I found the other day, I was looking through my oil stuff, an old book of old comic songs. Okay?
Right.
And why don't we talk about the way that comedy has completely changed? I mean, some of these are funny to me, but they wouldn't be funny to my daughter. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
There was one called The Night I Appeared as Macbeth. I acted so tragic, the house rose like magic. The audience cried, you are sublime. They made me a present of Mornington Crescent. They threw it a brick at a time. And all those kind of wonderful monologues,
Fantastic. Oh, no, I like that. I like that. Next week?
Yeah, we'll do it next week. Talk about comedy.
Fantastic. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your time at the market. It's goodbye from him.
And a slab of bread from me.
See you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.